are the dreams, you are the hopes, you are the future of all mankind. You are the future, you are the past, you are the grandfather of civilization. Ni senti balu na tashina kuka ni wame balu na tashina man monkey bani fala Africans United States United States United States oh yes United States of Africa United States United States oh yeah United States oh yes United States of Africa United States United States oh yeah United States oh yes United States.
Presidential election incumbent Yahya Jammeh has won the past 4 polls since taking power in a coup 22 years ago. Human rights groups accuse him of a crackdown on dissent. They fear this election will be rigged. Shortly we'll be talking to Nicholas Hack on the border between the Gambia and Senegal, but first, here's his report.
Sukai Daba will not be voting in this election. She left the Gambia with her 2 young children in September. She took part in this small opposition rally in April. Security forces arrested her and beat her unconscious. She escaped, traveling with her children to Senegal. Her journey to safety won't end here.
If I have the chance, I will go to Europe. From there, anywhere I can lay my head, I will go. Anywhere I can have peace, anywhere I can have life, I will go.
The UN says 10,000 Gambians sought refuge in Europe this year, but no one seems to know how many fled or died crossing the Mediterranean. President Yahya Jammeh on the campaign trail. He's ruled the country for the last 22 years after he took power in a coup. Since, he has won all presidential elections. Human rights organizations accuse him of putting critics in prison, even killing them. The opposition fears Jammeh will rig the vote in his favor.
Our election system is fraud, is rigging proof, is fraud proof. You cannot rig our elections. And I want you to go to the counting stations and see how elections are done in this country. Then you know that there is no reason for anyone to go to the streets.
Al Jazeera was refused access to cover this election. The border is closed, and phone and internet have been shut off. The Gambia is on full lockdown. We've spoken to several Gambians who have crossed the border illegally. It's a dangerous journey, and if they get caught, they risk being tortured or even killed. Despite the risks, countless Gambians continue to flee their homeland. The opposition has gained momentum, and they hope people will come out to vote for change. Meanwhile, unaware of the crackdown, thousands of Europeans vacation in the Gambia on cheap holidays organized by British tour operators. But Sukai is all too aware of the repression, and unless there's an end to Jammeh's rule, her future is on the road north and across the Mediterranean.
And we can now speak to Nicholas. He's in Karang, which is at the Gambia-Senegal border. First of all, Nicholas, tell us who are the candidates who are challenging Jammeh in this election?
Well, Laura, there's 2 candidates challenging Jammeh. One is called Mana Kande. He used to be part of the ruling party, but then created his own political party, is running as an independent. Now, some members of the opposition say that he's been propped up by Jammeh himself, mounting a fake opposition for this election. And then there's Adama Barrows, a former estate agent who was once a security guard in a department store in England. He's heading a 7-party coalition. It's the first time that the opposition is united under one candidate. He's really the people's choice. This election will be literally down to marbles and tin cans. Inside each polling station are 3 tin cans, a green one for Jammeh, a grey one for Barrows, and a purple one for Mane. And by the end of the day, people will be dropping marbles inside these cans, and there will be a tally to count how many votes there are. Of course, there's been 5 of these elections since Jammeh took power in a coup in 1994, and he's won all of them with a comfortable margin.
It's so interesting to see how people are actually voting there in the Gambia, and of course, you're not able to see it yourself, you're not being allowed into the country. I mean, given these circumstances, is there any guarantee that this is going to be a free and fair election?
Well, Laura, you know, the European Union, who usually monitors these elections, haven't been allowed into the country. In fact, there's one African Union observer for 1,400 polling stations. It's just literally impossible for people to monitor these elections carefully. Diplomats in the Gambia are actually trying to go inside these polling stations to try to watch whether there's going to be a correct tally. But the big anomaly in this election is the number of registered voters. There are 840,000 people registered to vote in a country of a population of less than 2 million. And remember, half of that population is less than 18 years old and are not allowed to vote. So 840,000, that's a big number for a small country. Now, Yahya Jammeh has said that he will not accept that the opposition protests, even peacefully, the outcome or the results of these elections. He said time and time again that he's ready to rule the Gambia for billions of years to come, and he's confident that he'll win this election again.
Okay, we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Nicholas Hack, thanks very much for joining us there from the Senegal-Gambia border.
Jami rew mi tamit
billahi wallahi taala election yi ñaata ajala ntele nga ko
wat na si yalla ne sani carte bi degmal wallahi billahi do ko fekke man ma wat si lolu si yalla
police du la jàppa ami du la jàppa kenn du la jàppa waaye noonu dëkk bi yëpp nañ de bala élection dañoo de benn o ñetta den xam nga li
police o te mutala soldat te mutala ami te mutala fen te mutala badal to mo banko jawoti al bebe fala le killing wata police bulu man la mo kan fara soldat bulu be la mo kan ñin carte fayo mun kana mo jawon mo kurngoni ta mabela
nin ko man ni ko fana a be man ke mo jawoti
sumane sose tabit waxumane sose ñep lu bon lañ
waaye kabiri 1994 man ni ko le la to ka fitno wuti ni ñi banko kan nali man tenku mbal tenku ni la 9 meters deep
mane depuis 1994 fitna yu fe am yeb so say ko day jema yengal waaye dama leena wane su fekke togulen dalulen dina len sour lo xamne dem na be ci 9 meters ci biir suuf si
suma mbokki poli
mbadim fulonu
ñoo xam ne ñu ngi APRC since 1994
munu yalon koy daabe APRC kabrin 1994 sango kono
so say dañ na wone ñu fula dingo ñu tol nga bankota mbal sambala te fay je be ni ko be fitno wulinda ñu jamano kono billahi wallahi talay billahi wallahi talay billahi wallahi talay hani tumbo men ka mo balo do ma ate gela ntela nga wofo nga jube tubaba yakata mena ci mune noje
dama ne mbolom ko xamne buga nga fay yengal fitna mbaaw yang fay buga def fitna wadna si yalla billahi wallahi tallahi ko xamne yengal nga fi fitna dina fi def jëf jo xamne sax yu nga xamne sax ñu ngay jëfo yarami niw sax yoy sax duñ topal yeen seen jëma joju ko
atal lañ ji balati momo do yatal fe jola ndingo manja ko ndingo fula ndingo surwa ndingo
yen ay kan ku nekk ngeen tuutil ko so se bu ndaw xawma Olof bu ndaw Pol bu ndaw Manjako bu ndaw Joola bu ndaw dama ne yéen war ngeen a delloo seen bopp si yàlla war ngeen a jébbalu si yàlla
ala man la fi dunia fitne fenko jutneati andin tele nga fo kabirin bi fo ila yomin dimi man dinka masakunda te soto la jan tele nga fo billahi wala talay ma kete da soto da nim fada nga ta jahannama tele nga fo ya jama dalilo be na mola ta nga fo
wadna si yàlla dama ne nguuri soose du fi dellu si waat billahi wallahi talaay waat naa si yàlla ma ne nguuri soose du fi mun amaat te su fekkee ne sax loolu
ebe faalale ta jahannama wot
dina ñama naa waat pour waat naa dellu si sa duga
nala malla tariko lo nga salon ko albota mandeng mali mune al bayje bambaran ko le al bayje wala dina fode ka ba dumbuya nata ka man ko men bortanan man sa musa kay ko inanta lempo jolanta ko ko debita gambi west africa ka collect nan ka bogo jammu mandika banko jimalo o falie alta la tariko jube ba
dama ne suñu
bare ndem muslimoti ndol be mu muslimoti Ngamo be kanyande jannet. Pero ni ko telebe ala la place tala mandinga ding jola ndingo flandingo nalta tala la ku ali tubi mo belia ali muru ala aleke muslima kendoti
Damane
munat nal baga fo mandinga dingo ani muso mem siata ifa ibamati safa go ji musu ndingo keo mem siata ifamati ka fa nyen kendingo atolen jimati Allah daji ko falling ale tiling ala maleke misilmoti al benga si jang kayro ko ni wonte malje
damane mande julit la dina jegale te dina emale ñep te duma hajaat le ben het waye damane amulen ben dalila pour di wonene yen rew mi fi yen yena ko mom fi du rewi sosé damane yen sosé.
Until very recently, few would have heard of this man, let alone given him much chance of dislodging Yahya Jammeh. Yet ahead of Friday's vote, Adama Barrow was betting on himself.
Victory. We are going to win these elections. We are going to win the polls by a big margin. And I think every Gambian, whether you are supporting us or you are not supporting us, or you know that we are leading in the polls and we are going to win. It is very, very clear. 100% plus.
In part, greatness was thrust upon Barrow. 7 opposition parties united behind him for this vote after senior officials from his party were arrested in July. Until then, Barrow was better known as an estate agent. Well, he was born in Gambia 1965 and studied in the UK, at one stage working as a security guard. Now, Barrow returned to Gambia 10 years ago to set up his own property farm. A devout Muslim, Barrow says he's a workaholic, putting in 14-hour days. Now, the Arsenal Football Club is one of his greatest loves. Now, he also has 2 wives. The massive crowds he attracted were clear evidence Barrow had tapped something, especially among the youth. For years, unemployment has plagued Gambia, and thousands every year make the perilous trip across the Mediterranean. Barrow made clear he was the candidate for change.
Gambians, this is the only chance we have to remove Jammeh from power. If you fail to do so, we'll regret it. This is the only chance we have. We must take it.
Barrow has promised free education and affordable healthcare and an end to the jailing of dissenting voices. He's also vowed to serve only 3 years as head of a transitional government. Not quite as ambitious as a billion years. Even so, Barrow's win and Jammeh's conceding defeat are momentous. Jane Keo, CCTV.
Let's get you some more perspective on these developments in Gambia. I'm joined live from Lagos by Achika Chude. He is an African affairs analyst. Achika, thank you for joining us. What's the significance of Yahya Jammeh conceding defeat after so many years in power, in your opinion?
Well, I think it's quite significant. Really, it's not easy after 22 years of what some people would term a dictatorship, that government could eventually, come to an end in this manner. Is something that is unprecedented, at least by Gambian standard, amazing and wonderful to a whole lot of people, including not just Gambians at home, but Gambians in diaspora. And the news, coming out from all over the place is that of ecstasy and happiness that it has happened. And but again, the reality is that it was more this election, this victory and loss. I want to say it was more of about Yahya Jammeh than even the opposition victory by Adama Barrow. The reality is that. Everybody has, Yahya Jammeh has been described, his government has been described as authoritarian for, so many years down the line. And for him to have been in power for about 22 years and then to lose out in this manner is clearly indicative of the fact that a man who had the structures of the state, who had the institutions of government as it beck and call, could allow this election to go the way it has gone is clear.